I'm out here trying to salvage my blueberries today. Oh, that blueberries, blueberries, blueberries. I'm out here trying to salvage my blueberries today. So I planted blueberries here. I planted 8 different varieties right there. You can kind of see them. It's that weed, that row of weeds. that's actually my blueberry row. Anyhow, I planted 8 rows or 8 varieties of them, and hoping to get all different blueberries throughout the different seasons and stuff. And I knew that blueberries needed a acidic soil, and you know, I didn't even test the soil. I didn't do anything. So they're barely, like, there's only a couple of them that are like, they're just barely hanging on. Some of them have just totally died. So anyhow, I had a pH tester that I just couldn't find. So I'm like looking for it. So finally I ended up buying another one. It came in the mail the other day. So I'm out here, I'm gonna try to test the pH. And I'm pretty sure that it's not the correct pH for blueberries, which is about 4.5 to 5.5, which is very acidic soil. So anyhow, I'm going to test this soil, but I've been out here. You can probably see weeds thrown out there. I've been kind of pulling weeds and digging around trying to find remnants of a living blueberry plant, and I have actually found some stuff, and I'll show you that. But so I'm going to have to try to get out all the, you know, kind of pull the weeds out, get them. And what I want to do is kind of like I did on our Asian pear tree that we planted the other day. And I'm going to put cardboard down and compost, and then that'll provide some nutrition. You know what? I probably should pH test that compost as well. I'll do that. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get over here, and I'll show you what I've discovered within the all of those weeds we've got. So here's the one that's looking the best, and it is an emerald blueberry, and it's here on the end. I had one over here that is just gone. It is no more. And then over here next to it, we've got the Premier, and I've went through and found the remnants of the labels and made new labels. But this one's alive-ish. No blueberries, but it's alive. And then over here, I was able to find, now it's about the same height as, you can see it, the weeds there. You can see it's about the same height as the weeds, but as I started digging, I was able to discover that, yes, there is a plant there. There was a label, so I made new labels. And that's the Elliott blueberry. And then moving on over, got one here that, oh man, I've got an awesome blueberry crop. Look at this. I've got blueberries. Well, maybe you can see it, maybe not. Well, you might not be able to see them, but anyhow, they're there. And this is a blue crop blueberry. Yeah, maybe you can see them, maybe you can't. But I've got a couple blueberries right there. And this is a blue crop blueberry. So that one I think I might be able to salvage. Then weeds. And I've pulled a bunch of weeds. You can see all these little bare spots in these circles. That's where I've dug down and found where they were planted. So fortunately, you know, of course, I was able to tell for sure because my labels were there. But anyhow, I believe that is a blueberry plant there, and I'm going to treat it as a blueberry plant, and I'm going to see if I can salvage this thing. That is the Rubel blueberry. Then on over to the end of the line here is a Duke blueberry, and it looks dead. I mean, you can even see it right there. That is what's left. I mean, it feels pretty solid, and so I know the roots haven't rotted yet. So I'm going to treat it as if it's alive and try to bring it back to life and see what happens. I don't have much hopes for that one, but hey, why not, right? Anyhow, let me back you back up here and show you what I've got. And I'm going to go through and get rid of these weeds. And then I've got a new blueberry plant that I'm going to go, I didn't bring it out, I'll go grab it. Okay, and then here is the newest edition. And I ordered this from Stark Brothers. And this is a blue crop. So we've got another blue crop here. So that's awesome. So we'll have two, and I'm going to put this over here where this one didn't make it at the end. And then, but first, we need to get our soil tester out and test the pH after I get some of these weeds out of the way and see what we got. Can't tell if you're focused or not. Anyhow, that's right on the 7 for the pH. So that's right at 7 on the pH scale. So that's neutral, pH neutral, basically. But for blueberries, you got to have acidic soil, which would be for blueberries about 4.5 to 5.5 on the scale. So we're going to have to lower that pH, and to do that, I've got a couple things. Now, what you want to do generally when you're lowering your pH is, some sulfur kind of thing. Well, let me just grab what I've got. So what we have, I went to Lowe's, just ran to Lowe's and got some stuff. We got some organic soil acidifier for blueberries and hydrangeas. So that's what we need, and this is organic. So when you're trying to lower your pH, you need to do it ahead of time, not as an afterthought. So I'm in kind of the predicament where I should have checked this before I put my blueberries in and got the soil prepared ahead of time. And I'm going to do that over there with where I'm planting that new one. I'm not going to plant that today. I'm going to prepare the soil for it ahead of time today, and here in a couple months maybe it'll be nice and prepared. But what I'm going to do in this situation where I'm kind of behind the 8 ball on it, I'm going to do this to help it start lowering the pH on the soil, but also I'm going to take vinegar and water my blueberries. All of these blueberries that are already in here, I'm going to water them with vinegar water, with white vinegar mixed with water. And so that's another thing we're going to do to give them basically the acidic, I don't know if nutrients is the right word, but the acidic pH that they need to thrive. And I'm hoping that will help give them like a jump start until they actually do, until the soil actually becomes acidified. So that's my plan. Hopefully it works. Before I do that though, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab the wheel hoe and try to dig out a bunch of these weeds. Brown Thumb Nursery, baby. That's what it's all about right there. So here on the package it says It says for new plants, put a 1 1/4 cup broadcast around the perimeter, basically around the drip line of the tree. And then for new plants, for new plants, it's 1 1/4 cup. For established plants, it's 2 1/2 cups, spread evenly, and then reapply after 60 days. So I'm gonna go get a cup, maybe a 2 cup, whatever kind of container I can find, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got me a pint jar. That's 2 cups, so that works out good. I don't think I can fit it down in the thing, so I'm gonna have to try to pour it. But I'm gonna put about 2 cups per area of a plant. Now, also in this area where I'm going to plant, I'm gonna put 2 cups in that area as well, and then kind of rake it in. So, let's see here. All right, 2 cups. Just kind of broadcast that in that area. Well, that bag is empty. I had not quite enough to do all of them. So, just FYI, one bag does maybe about 7 blueberry plants, or hydrangea plants, if that's what you're going to be adjusting. So I was kind of hoping that bag would last me a while, but nope. So I'm going to go grab a rake and kind of rake this in a little bit, and then I've got some compost here. I went ahead and grabbed a load of compost. All right, I got that raked in pretty good. So now I'm gonna go get some cardboard and lay around them things. All right, so I went and got me a little small handful of cardboard. And I probably have to get more, but anyhow, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put it down here. Well, maybe you can see, maybe not. Oh, there we go. So this is the place where I'm going to plant that next plant, but not today. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of get this area prepared by trying to kill off any of these weeds that I didn't get all the roots out of. Trying to kill those off by smothering them out. Anyhow, see all these cracks here? You always have to make sure you overlap those really good. So that you, because weeds will find that light and it'll come back out through. So, oh, there. I'm gonna put this one here, this one here, and go about that wide, I guess, like that. Can you see that? Yeah. Then I'm gonna take and put these here right up around. I'm going to try to position my labels to where I can reach down, put them right at the base of the tree. You know what? I've got this string that I keep grabbing that's tied onto this tree. Try to get all the weeds from the base of there. I'm going to put that label right up at the trunk so I can find it easily. And I'm going to put that cardboard right up to it there. Try to take that slit. In fact, I'm going to cut that slit a little bit back a little bit. Cut that slit a little bit bigger So I can wrap that around the trunk of that bush there. It's always a good idea to take the tape off. If you don't, it will just, when you start digging through later on, you'll see these pieces of tape and you can literally just pick them right up, shake the dirt off and take them off. So it's pretty, if it's hard to come off when you're undoing them, like that piece there, you know, well, that come off pretty easy, but sometimes they're difficult to come off. And I'll be honest, I don't always take them off because I can always pick them up, pull them up out of the ground later. But this here project does more than just get this area cleaned up here and more productive. This actually is a wonderful thing for my garage because all these boxes were in my garage. So I got to be able to, I can walk through another path in my garage now because of this project. So just a fun thing there. But anyhow, so now I've got my one wagon load of compost over there, and let me show you what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to take and cover around on top of this before we put mulch. We're going to put compost for the good nutrition, and then for the soil, and then compost basically. And then I'm going to put comfrey and strawberries around this as well for ground cover so that the other weeds don't take over. All right, so there you can kind of see what we got going there. Got the compost down around the trees, they're the bushes, I guess they are. And now I'm gonna grab some comfrey and strawberries and put it around there. And I probably won't have time to do them all because it's getting late, but I'll show you around one or two of them so that you can kind of get an idea. And then we're gonna, from here, we'll put compost around, and we use grass clippings from our mower. We have a bagger on our mower, and we bag it up and then use that as, well, not compost, but mulch. Mulch it with grass clippings. So let me go grab the comfrey and some strawberries, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got some strawberries, and these are the, whoops, double check. Ozark Beauty, which is an ever-bearing strawberry. So I've got these, and they actually should have been planted like a month ago. I've had them just healed in my in the greenhouse there. So they're, yeah, they might not all make it, but I mean they're still, I mean look at it, they're trying to grow, and I've just had them healed in there. The roots seem even dry, so I don't know. But they're trying to survive. But anyhow, I'm going to plant these around as a ground cover for around here. And I'm learning this kind of thing from Billy from Permapastures Farm. So go take a look at Billy Permapastures Farm, and I'll try to put a link down in the description and learn from them, because I'm learning lots of stuff. But anyhow, the ground cover idea in a permapasture, like a food forest kind of a situation, which is what we're trying for here. That's what this, we've got probably about 8 or so apple trees, about 5 or 6 pear trees, we've got peach trees, plum trees, and all of that. And so But anyhow, we're wanting to get, this is going to be like a food forest. It's going to all be taken over. We've got, you know, all these blueberries, 8 varieties of blueberries. Anyhow, I'm just going to go ahead and start putting these in here. And I'm just going to kind of put them in. Now, strawberries, one thing you want to know is about strawberries, you don't want to put them too deep. You got to keep that crown at soil level or above. So I'm just going to kind of randomly put them in here. And you can see, maybe you can see, maybe not. So you see here, I just put this blueberry that I'm going to plant, I put it there just to kind of save its spot. And I got the compost around. Oh, hey, so look, that's what happens when you don't peel off the tape off your cardboard. Yeah, you just pull it out later. So there's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to go ahead and put a bunch of these strawberries in here because I don't know, I probably got about 40 more of them here. I'm just going to try to get them to get established in here, and then we're hoping to like expand out from here with the soil, with the mulch and the compost and all of that. So you can see I got just these little plants there. I don't know how many of them will make it, but I'm going to go ahead and put them in, hoping that they make it. And it's getting ready to rain, so they'll get watered, you know, watered in pretty good. Try not to, making sure that the crown is not too deep. Now, as far as like companion planting, and I apologize if you can't hear, Deb's over there mowing a little bit, but that's just pretty much what she does whenever I do videos. She mows. It just seems to work out that way. She loves that riding mower. We just got a new battery for it today, so she's all excited. Anyhow, so the pH for blueberries, as we've already talked about, is about 4.5 to 5.5. And strawberries is just kind of overlaps that just a little bit at like 5.3 to 6.5, I think, in that range. Maybe I'll put it on the screen if that's wrong. But so that there is an overlap, and I'm going to try to settle this soil into about 5.5 or a little bit lower. So if I get it down to 5.3, that's right at the edge of strawberries' happy place. Boy, she is tearing it up over there. I don't know if you can hear or not. Anyhow, so that is kind of a good thing as far as with the strawberry. That's one thing you want to think about when you're planting different things with different things. I'm not sure if that's, you look at these and see if these are salvageable. So we got about 3 of them that are dried up. I'm going to go ahead and stick them in the ground. Maybe they'll just take off. Put them right over here. I'll just put them all together. If one of them makes it, then we'll be good. And then the comfrey, which we'll also be planting here. Comfrey's a little bit out of the range. It's like 6 to 7 on its happy place for pH. So, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of comfrey here. I'm a little bit leery about putting comfrey, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm not sure about putting comfrey with blueberries. I know it's something you want to do with all your fruit trees, and these are not fruit trees, they're fruit bushes, so I don't know how that... I know the pH is one of the biggest things, and the fact that these are bushes and low, and I don't want comfrey to take over. But anyhow, let me get the rest of these strawberries here kind of put in around these couple bushes. see what I'm pulling the. So yeah. Well, that one's got big old long roots. Right. Oh, got one more. Maybe two more here. Let me skip them. All right. Now you might be wondering about the fact that I'm putting those directly in the compost, directly on top of that cardboard. And thing about that cardboard, we're getting ready to have rain for the next, off and on for the next 10 days. So it's gonna settle in there and get good and moist, and it literally will disintegrate within a couple weeks, and to where those roots will get down into the soil below there really quickly. So I'm not a bit concerned about that at all. If you've ever done anything, with the cardboard like this, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then I highly recommend you give it a try, because that's a good way to suppress weeds. So now I got some comfrey, and like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and do straw. I just used up all the strawberries I had in that bunch. I'm gonna go grab another bunch after I show you this, and I got all the rest of that. I got up to the third blueberry here, and I'll do the rest later. But here I got some comfrey. Let me aim down here. Try to break out just a couple plants of that here. And I propagated these from cuttings. So let me get the leaves and garbage off of there. Let me just kind of separate a couple of those. There's actually two, but I think I'll leave those together. There's another one there. That's another good one. And then a couple there. So let's just do those. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm a little bit leery about putting comfrey because I don't want it to take over the blueberries. So I think what I might do is just kind of move it out away a little bit on the outer portions. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna put one over here on the outside there, and I'm gonna have to kind of move some soil around just to kind of get it under some soil. And I'll put one over here right at the edge there as well. I'm just gonna grab some soil and kind of pack around it, and that's gonna, as long as it gets rooted in, it's gonna take off. So that'll be fine. These leaves will probably die off, and then new leaves will take off. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these other two that I've got right here, and I'm just going to put them down at the opposite end here, where this other one is, where this one is barely alive, and put it out away, far corners away from that, like this here, and then just kind of pack some soil around that. Maybe move it out to the corner there. And then this one here, maybe I'll put that one kind of even to where it's going to be right there, right above the soil. All right, so there you have it. So can I save these blueberries? I mean, I guess that's the main question. Can I save the blueberries? So, oh man, I didn't even show you. The next thing I was going to do is to water them with the vinegar water. that's going to give them what they need right away as far as the pH. So let me go ahead and get that real quick. So I went and got a bucket, got the water hose, fill in the bucket, got some vinegar, So one thing I looked up or whatever said about to go with about a cup of vinegar per gallon of water. I got a 5-gallon bucket. I'll probably fill it up about 3 gallons. So I'm gonna use, I'm just gonna go with what seems to be about 3 or 4 cups. You know what? Let me test the pH of this water real quick. I think it's close to 7, but let me double check here. Yeah, so our water generally tests at about 7 on the pH scale. So I want to add about, I don't know, 3 cups of, man. I'm going to go ahead and add the vinegar now, even though I've only got a little bit over a gallon of water. That's probably several cups. You kind of stir it up by...
Probably about 2 that you just added.
Okay, the boss says it's about 2 cups I just added. So now this water is at right at 4.5 on the pH. So that's awesome. So I think what I want to do is make some more water. Let me go ahead and add some more vinegar and add some more water. Oh, whoa, man.
He loves vinegar.
Oh, man. Whew. Right here, you can have that.
Thanks.
Whew. Let me test it now before let me just kind of mix it. That commotion of the water mixes it kind of. So let's see what we got. Kind of stir it up a little bit. It's still climbing down. It's at 4, 3 point something. So yeah, it's probably about 3.8-ish or something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more water to get that up to about 4.5, and I think that's gonna be fine. Let me check that. And it's still a little under 4. I think I'm going to go ahead and dilute that out a little bit. Yeah, it's still at 4, going down a little bit below 4. Dilute it some more. It's still below 4 on the pH.
Is that too low?
Well, I mean, it's too low for soil to be that low, but it's going to be diluted out once I pour it in. So I think that's going to be fine. It's a little bit below 4 on the pH. When I water this with it, it's going to disperse out into the roots and give them that shock of the low pH that they've been lacking, and then that'll neutralize out. And then it's going to rain. That's going to dilute it even some more. So let's go ahead and water these things. This makes some pretty good mulch. Oh. This here, I've already got the strawberries and stuff planted, so I'm going to try to do it by hand. Kind of cover up the edges of this cardboard. Then I have to kind of go by hand. See, can barely see the strawberries where I put them in, so I'm going to kind of go in by hand and be very careful around them. So you can see how I'm covering the edges of the cardboard. You may have wondered why did I just put that compost right there in the middle and left the cardboard showing. Well, this is why. I'm using the mulch to cover them edges, and then of course we're going to eventually go wider and wider and hopefully allow these strawberries, once they take root and start spreading out their runners, to kind of go out and continue out to create this food forest kind of a atmosphere for them. All right, I'm going to go ahead and mix up another bucket of that acidified water with the white vinegar, just to have out here so that the next couple days I can just continue to add some, basically a kind of a daily vitamin kind of thing basically to them until that sulfur that I added to the soil kicks in and dissolves into the soil. And then I'll continue to check the pH of the soil around here and see what we get. And then once the soil itself levels out, I won't need to add that vinegar anymore as far as watering them with the vinegar. So follow along with my journey here, and you know, we'll have to update you how it's looking and what the pH is doing and all of that kind of thing. And if you have any suggestions, I'll be happy to hear those down in the comments. Well, I mean, not hear them. I mean, I don't think I have to read them out. I would have to read them out loud to myself to hear them. But anyhow, I can do that. I can read them out loud. But anyhow, I'd love to hear your suggestions. And if you have any ideas or experience, especially if you have experience with this kind of issue where you've had to fight with the alkaline soil to get it down for blueberries. So I'm going to go ahead and call this it on the video. Make sure you get out there and get your thumbs brown. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will catch you on the south side. God bless. Blueberries, blueberries.